Hello everyone, and a warm welcome from Visaman UK. The topic of this video is Tier 2 Intra Company Transfer Visas, which is one of the most popular visa categories under Tier 2 and is a category for which I get a lot of questions asked all the time, especially through emails, because it is a very important category of Tier 2 visas through which a lot of people gain access to the UK. So let's talk about this visa category, and with a view to help you understand this category, and then maybe answer some of the questions in your mind about when it's used, its usefulness, its comparison against the Tier 2 general category, etc. So when is this category of visas used? The Tier 2 Intra-Company Transfer Visas. So if a company is operating in the UK and is also operating in your home country, and if you've been employed with that particular company for a minimum of 12 months, it can call you overseas on a Tier 2 Intra-Company Transfer Visa. So it can call you into the UK on a Tier 2 ICT if you've been with the company for at least 12 months. There are other categories of requirements as well. There are other requirements as well, which we will be looking during the course of this video. Firstly, let's look at the types, because there's more than one type of Tier 2 ICT. Firstly, there is a graduate trainee type, wherein a maximum of 12 months is provided to the candidate. So the maximum duration of the visit can only be 12 months. And then there's the short-term staff category, which also provides a maximum of 12 months. However, this category has recently been taken out. So this category has actually expired as of April 2017. So basically now there's only one really important category, one basic category through which a lot of people gain entry to the UK, and that is the Tier 2 ICT long-term staff. And even in this category, you'll be granted a maximum stay of 5 years and 1 month if your salary is less than 120,000 GBP, and this maximum stay is extended to 9 years if you earn at least 120,000 pounds. So unless you have an enormously amazing salary, the maximum amount of stay expected on a Tier 2 ICT is 5 years and 1 month. Very important point to remember. So we spoke about a few requirements, like being employed with the company for a minimum of 12 months. There are a few other requirements for the company to be able to grant you a COS, and be it under Tier 2 General or under Tier 2 Intra-Company Transfer, the company obviously firstly need to exist in the Tier 2 Register of Sponsors. Unless the company exists in the Register of Sponsors, it cannot issue a COS or a Certificate of Sponsorship. So, be it Tier 2 General or Tier 2 ICT, none of this is possible unless the company exists in the Register of Sponsors. Again, there are minimum salaries prescribed, and the minimum salaries can get slightly confusing, but it's important to understand that the minimum salaries should be as per the guidance issued in the COP documents. The COP document is basically the codes of practice document, and explaining the codes of practice, I have actually produced a video, so I will be providing the link to the video in the description. Please do check it out if you have any confusion regarding codes of practice. A very important aspect and a very useful aspect is that there's no English language requirement anymore for Tier 2 ICT. So there isn't any English language requirement as opposed to Tier 2 General, so that is a positive. However, immigrant health surcharge requirements do exist, so you still have to pay immigrant health surcharge as per the number of applicants, as in if you've got just yourself applying, then you'll have to pay for yourself. If you've got dependents with you as well, then you'll have to pay IHS per dependent as well. Funds required. What are the funds required in this category? Funds required are 945 for the main applicant and 630 per dependent. However, it's very important to note that if your sponsor is an A-listed sponsor, and if they actually agree to certify your maintenance, which can be done through a simple tick on the certificate of sponsorship, then you have no fund requirement at all. And if you don't have any fund requirements, none of your dependents will have any fund requirements. So your maintenance requirements only exist if your company hasn't certified maintenance in the certificate of sponsorship. Now, there are some important things to be noted down for the Tier 2 ICT route. The most important thing, consideration is that there is no direct settlement route for Tier 2 ICT, unlike Tier 2 General. Now, if you are in the UK under Tier 2 General, then if you spend 5 years, if you manage to spend 5 years, even if it's under different sponsors, if you manage to spend 5 years or more under Tier 2 General, then you get eligible to apply for an indefinite leave to remain. Now, this is not the case for Tier 2 ICT. And if you want to switch over to Tier 2 General from a Tier 2 ICT visa, it's not possible in the UK. It's not possible within the UK without leaving the country. What you'll have to do is you'll have to go back to your country, serve what is called a cooling off period, which is 12 months, and only after 12 months and with a valid COS with any sponsor can you actually apply for a Tier 2 General. So you essentially have to leave after 5 years and 1 month or 9 years as per the salary that you've been provided. The positive aspect is that just like Tier 2 General, dependents do have the right to full-time work in the UK. So I think this is quite obvious now that I do recommend that people try for the Tier 2 General route rather than the Tier 2 ICT route if possible, because under Tier 2 General, as I just mentioned, there is a route which leads to indefinite leave to remain, whereas if you are under Tier 2 ICT, there is no direct route. You have to go back to your country, serve a cooling off period, and possibly reapply through a Tier 2 General route. So not very helpful. So ICT versus General, most definitely General. So that was like a quick overview with a few pointers, some very important questions covered, and this would probably answer a lot of your questions before you feel the need to get it clarified with myself. But yes, without any doubt, without a shadow of doubt, you can always get in touch with me directly. You have my email address in the description all the time, so feel free to get in touch. And a quick note now, a quick shout out to the supporters of this channel. This channel has nearly completed 2 years, and over the last 2 years, a lot of people who've been overwhelmed with the help that I've provided to them have requested to me to provide a direct channel through which they can actually provide support to this channel. And now a direct medium to provide support to this channel now exists. So if you want to support this channel, if you want to provide any sort of personal support to this channel, feel free to visit the link and do so. You don't have to do it. It's not like I'm asking people to do it, definitely. I'll still love you if you don't, but if you feel that you can support this channel and my efforts that I've put in the last 2 years, having answered every single question as far as possible, then please feel free to support this channel through this PayPal link that I've put in. Okay, feel free to post any questions through the comments, or if your questions are a bit more personal and require special attention, feel free to email me. As always, I will get back to you and help you out as much as possible. Thank you very much for your attendance, and as always, if you like this content, press like, subscribe to the channel, and keep sharing this content to enable the further development. Thank you very much. Bye.